Hey guys, so today I am doing the products I regret buying video. This might be a long video because I do have quite a few products that I regret purchasing. I did one of these videos a couple of months back. There's two reasons why I'm doing another one so quickly, because one, I've been just trying out a lot of products recently and a lot of them haven't been working for me. I feel like they've been really hyped up and I just don't think they're worth the money. Two is because I'm going through my makeup collection. So I did find a lot of products that I haven't used in years, but I'm just holding on to them because they were expensive or whatever reason. I don't know if they're still like good makeup, but I just don't use them and I definitely regret purchasing them. Anyway, I am just going to get started. I have all the products down here, so I keep like looking down. I'm gonna get started with one of the products that I feel like has been so hyped up lately. Like everyone is obsessed with it. I see it on Instagram like daily. I see people just raving about it, and actually a lot of you guys told me about this, that you thought I would like it. And when you initially look at this product, it does look very pleasing to the eyes. It looks very, very beautiful. I've had it for about a month now, and I can safely say that I regret purchasing it. This is the Tartelette in Bloom palette, not the original Tartelette palette. This is the In Bloom one. So when you first open this up, the shadows look beautiful. They're very warm. You guys know I love my warm shadows, bronzies and golds and things like that. $45, this is definitely not worth the money, you guys. If you have been thinking about getting this one, don't do it, and I'll tell you why right now. So the main color in this palette that I think would be the best for like an all over lid shade is this Funny Girl color in the bottom left corner. When you swatch this, there's practically nothing on your finger. It's just a slight sheen. The shadow barely shows up at all. I mean, this is one of the worst formulated eyeshadows I've ever used, especially in an expensive eyeshadow palette. I mean, there's just nothing on the skin when you go to use this. The other two colors in this first row are very pigmented and definitely have a better formula than that bottom one, but they're just matte, and I'm not a huge fan of using like matte as my highlighting shade when I'm doing my eyeshadow. So to me, this palette doesn't actually have a highlighting shade. So I can't just reach for this and only use this while I'm getting ready for the day, because really these are two matte colors and this one doesn't show up at all. So there's really no highlight shade to put under my brow bone or in my inner tear duct area. I also am not a fan of this rocker shade. It's very cool toned. It's not a very unique color. And because the rest of the palette is so warm, I feel like it's almost out of place. Also, this very last row, I haven't even touched. This extremely dark, and I think that super dark colors like this shouldn't be in like natural eyeshadow palettes. Just my opinion, but I don't ever wear them. I know some people say you can use the really dark shades as like your eyeliner, but I'm gonna use my eyeliner as my eyeliner. Like I don't want to have to go through like getting a tiny little brush and dipping it in eyeshadow and create eyeliner out of an eyeshadow when I can just use my eyeliner. So I find these extremely dark shades just too dark, especially when you're doing like your makeup every day. I find that the first row I pretty much don't use, the last row I pretty much don't use, and then all I'm left with are actually these like matte colors, because there's only 3 shimmery shades in this palette. One of them is totally useless, so the rest are all matte, and they're beautiful shades, but they're just browns. You can find matte brown shades in like every eyeshadow palette pretty much. I think it's just not worth $45, and this is my opinion. I know people are like going crazy over this palette, but I mean, I think it's just so beautiful to look at, but when it comes to like practicality and using it, I find that it's just not the best for me. Next up are these NARS lip glosses. I actually had these in my lip gloss drawer. I noticed there was like an oily film on the entire bottom of the drawer, and I was like, what the heck? So I cleaned it out, cleaned off every single one of the products. It was just an oil covering all of my lip glosses. So I knew one of them was leaking. I didn't know which one. Within a week, I checked again and there was more oil residue, but I noticed it was mainly only on the NARS lip glosses. So all around the opening, there's like this oily substance that leaks out of these. I hope that you can see it on camera, but I made sure not to like clean these off so you could really see. But for some reason, these NARS lip glosses leak. Maybe if you were storing them like upright, it wouldn't do that. I was storing mine laying down, so maybe that's why they were doing that. So I don't want to store them with the rest of the lip glosses. I feel like, why would a lip gloss leak in oil like that? Maybe it's something to do with the formula, I'm not sure. So I do regret purchasing these. I just feel like none of my other lip glosses do that. Even like my $2 NYX lip glosses don't do that. And these are kind of expensive. So let me know if that's ever happened to you with your NARS lip glosses if you purchase these. 2 mascaras. Okay, you guys know my Maybelline Colossal Volume is my favorite drugstore mascara. It is in the yellow tube. It has like yellow and purple. But these 2 I regret purchasing, not because I thought they made my eyelashes look bad. It's the Maybelline, the Rocket Volume Express and the Mega Plush Volume Express. In the middle of the day, I noticed when I looked in the mirror, I had a ton of like little black spots under my eyes from the mascara like rubbing off like from the oils or something. I don't know, they both did that. The Colossal Volume never does that. That's why I love it. It stays on all day. It doesn't smudge. I don't get flakiness or anything, but both of these did that on me, both of them. The reason I actually don't like the Mega Plush as well is because it has this little like indent in the middle of the wand. So when you go to like push this onto your eyelashes, it kind of bends in half. Lose like the intensity when you're trying to like push your eyelashes up, especially when you're someone like me that has short eyelashes and you really need it to be like a stiff wand to really get in there and like push your eyelashes up. It just kind of like bends and you're like, no. So I don't know what the purpose of a bendy wand like that is. I just personally hate it. Two Bare Minerals little eyeshadow things. This is the 2.0, so there's 2 eyeshadows in here, and this is the 4.0, so there's 4 eyeshadows in here. So I'm gonna start with this little 2.0. It's called the Epiphany. Now these eyeshadows are amazing in formula. They're creamy, they're pigmented. The actual colors in this little duo are beautiful, but I don't think I've ever used this. I maybe used it once when I like first got it, maybe 2 times, and this is a $20 little quad like this. They are beautiful colors and the pigmentation in the formula is amazing on these. And I know they come in so many different shades, like color combinations, but I would say don't go for this one only because you really can't do much with just these 2 colors. It's such a dark chocolatey brown and the other color is so shimmery and foily. It's like I would definitely need to reach for a couple other eyeshadow palettes or eyeshadows to complete my everyday look, and I just don't reach for it because there's not much I can do with this alone. So it's something that I like always forget that I have. And I just, for 20 bucks, I'd rather put that $20 towards something else, I guess. One I have that I regret is called the Happy Place. I just find that the 2 on the left-hand side are kind of just blah colors. They basically just look matte. There's nothing special about them, so you can't really do your entire eye look with just using this little quad because there's no like highlight shade. There's really not even that good of a lid shade. This color up here, color that I would probably normally use for like an all-over lid shade, but it's almost too orangey. It's not really a gold or like a bronze. It's almost like a orangey pinkish kind of color. It just doesn't complement me at all, so I never ended up reaching for this. Polish. This one is by China Glaze. It's called Chillin' With My Snowmies, which I think that is such a cute name. So it kind of is just a clear nail polish, but it has a bunch of different size white glitters in there. So they're not sparkly or anything. I originally purchased this thinking, oh, this would be so cool over like a really dark blue, a black nail polish or something. It would really look like little pieces of snow on your nail for like a Christmas manicure, a winter themed manicure. None of the little white flecks get picked up on the brush at all, and I like shake it before I use it and you'll get like maybe 1 or 2 of the little white flakes on your nail. I really would shake this when I used it. I would try to get my brush in there to pick up more of the little specks, and like none of them would cling onto the brush, and when I would try, you're just pretty much getting a clear base that they're all floating in. So this is totally fail. Like I don't know what they were thinking, but this is definitely a bad formula. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know how much I love the Makeup Forever, the Aqua lip liner. It's so great, especially if you want to overline your lips a little bit like I did today because it's waterproof. It doesn't really smudge or anything. So I wanted to try out one of the Aqua Eyes, which is basically just a waterproof eyeliner. I went for the shade 18L. It just looked like a really pretty plummy kind of like eggplant purple color, which I thought would be so pretty to bring out the green in my eyes, but it has such a deep like reddish berry undertone. When I actually used it, I only used it once and I couldn't use it again. I actually think I took it off when I used it. Strong red undertone, especially like on your waterline. It really looked like your eyes were almost like infected or something. There was too much of a red undertone in this color. I would say stay away from this particular shade, but the formula is really great. Oops, I just dropped it. It's concealer. I don't even know if Tarte makes this anymore. But they did for a while. It's the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Concealer, not the to be confused with like the purple Maracuja one. This is the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Concealer. You guys know how much I love the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage foundation, and it has like the same packaging as this. So I tried this out. This has to be the thickest, stickiest concealer I have ever used, and I have to actually physically squeeze this tube insanely hard just to get the concealer to come out, and when it actually finally does come out, it's like this thick, sticky paste. You're definitely going to get full coverage on this. Like as you can see on my hand, it pretty much covers all of the veins. It's like a mask, and I don't think this thick of a formula is good for underneath your eyes. I mean, it's so sticky and it just it's not good. I just didn't like this one. Don't go for this one. Go for the one that comes in the purple tube. This one is way too sticky and thick. Next up is the Urban Decay Naked Flush. This is basically a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush palette in one. Now, I tried to use this again today because I was like, okay, do I really regret purchasing this? And I used it again just to confirm before I started filming, and I was like, yeah, I do. I don't think it's worth it. First of all, the bronzer is very, very light. So, and I'm pretty pale. And it's just, it doesn't do much for you. It doesn't really warm you up that much. It's not great for contouring. It's not great for, I don't know, it's just not dark enough to me. Also, the highlight is not that highlighty, I guess. I put it on today. I put it on my nose and my cheeks, and it gives you a slight sheen, but you know what's really annoying too is when I was trying to go in just to get the highlighter, and I was using a pretty small brush, you're definitely gonna pick up a little bit of the blush and some of the bronzer as well, and when you're highlighting, you definitely don't wanna get bronzer up in the highlight as well, and so I just think the whole concept of this, it seems good to have like everything all in one, especially like for traveling or something, but maybe if they were separated like in their own pans so the brush wouldn't be like touching all of them, but because they're literally all made together, it's just kind of annoying, I think, because you're always going to pick up a little bit of the color next to it. And also the blush is nice, but I mean, kind of boring. So overall, I don't think I'm a huge fan of this whole like 3-in-1 idea, and I'm just not a fan of the bronzer shade, which is like the biggest part of this little palette. So, I mean, I don't know, I don't reach for it. I just think I'd rather have like my bronzer separate, can really go in there and bronze out my whole face, don't have to worry about picking up a blush or highlighter on the same brush. And overall, I just think these colors aren't the greatest. Completes my products I regret purchasing video. Let me know what you think. Do you love some of these products? Let me know why. Do you agree with me on some of these products that they're not worth the money, they're not worth the hype? I will link my previous 2 products I regret purchasing videos below. One of them was a couple years ago, one of them was only a couple of months ago. If you want to see even more things that, you know, I regretted purchasing in the past, check those 2 videos out down below. But thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel. Please give it a thumbs up if you like this video and found it informative. I will see you guys very, very soon with a new video. I love you. Bye.